Ladies and gentlemen, we are live at the Back to Basics Showcase. We just witnessed an amazing performance by the one and only, the lovely lady sitting to my right, Black Orchid, and it is now my honor and privilege to interview this superstar, this megastar. Wonderful performance. Before we get into it, I just want to say that Maneater, personal favorite. You know, I'm gonna have to go download a bunch of Black Orchid music.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Bob.
No problem. As we get started, I know a lot of people are probably wondering, because your name has been around, they're probably wondering, where does the name Black Orchid come from?
Well, about 2004, I'm trying to date myself here, but 2004 I was on a military base in California and trying to navigate being a military wife with a young baby. And so my way of coping with that was kind of, getting myself back into music. So I started producing and I come up with a name, right? So I started Googling different kinds of things that I might like, and I Googled a black orchid flower, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. They're rare, they're mysterious, they're unique. I think that that describes me pretty well, and so it stuck. And it wasn't until like later on in my life, like recently when I started to collect vinyl, that I came across the record of Stevie Wonder's The Secret Life of Plants album. And he has a song on that album called Black Orchid.
Wow.
And when I heard that song for the first time, I felt like he was talking about me. So
wow.
That's how I got my name and my connection to that through Stevie Wonder. So
That's amazing.
thank you.
So talk to me a bit about that experience. You said you were on a military base. What was that like?
Yeah, I was married to a guy in the Marine Corps. I moved from here down to Camp Pendleton, California for about a few years. Started a family, got married, started a family, and it was difficult because I was away from my family and my friends for years. I'm saying? I really try to get to know everybody and try to live life normally, but it's not normal because you're living on a military base and adhere by the rules and the protocols and everything like that. So it was a little difficult, but things like music and trying to strengthen myself as a producer and all that helped me get through that ordeal. So.
Wow. That's an experience that not many people have. Is it like super strict, like you were saying?
Yeah, it can be. I could tell you an incident where we moved to Okinawa, Japan as well.
Wow.
Because he got stationed there, and then we moved over there I was there with him for about a year and a half, and that's a culture shock in itself because you're in a different part of the world altogether, and with a different language, and you have to get acclimated pretty fast, but. There was an advantage because you're living on a base, so you're kind of sheltered, but because people speak English on the military base and stuff. So if you really want to taste the real culture, you have to get off the base and go out of town and experience what life is really like. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I got a chance to kind of do that too. And learn a little bit of Japanese, not very much, but and experience that before I moved back here. So.
Wow. Okay. So, in moving back here, let's talk a bit about your upbringing.
Yeah.
So, where did you grow up and how did your environment shape the artist you became?
So, I was born and raised in Toronto to two immigrant parents. My dad came from Jamaica, my mother came from the UK, and I'm first generation Canadian Jamaican.
Wow.
And so, I grew up in the 80s and in the 90s and stuff, right? So, things were a lot different then. My parents also, they go to church and everything like that. So a lot of us artists, we got our start from them. So I dealt with going to church, and my mom used to listen to like R&B and hip hop and stuff like that. So she kind of shaped my musical taste. And my father was, used to sing in a group in church and stuff. And he had his own musical aspirations, so he'd take me with him to rehearsals and take me with him to the studio and all this stuff. And he was my first like mentor. He taught me how to write songs and stuff like that, and how to sing. So that growing up in that environment and all these things together kind of created, who I am today.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it really runs in the family.
Yeah, you can say that.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing. So like that being said, what was your earliest memory with music? Like how old were you when your dad either first taught you how to create songs, or were you in your room by yourself making music? How did that first?
Well, the earliest memory I can remember, I've seen it in pictures of my father, had him guitar, and he's like showing me a guitar. I must have been like 2 or 3 years old, and I'm just, playing with it and stuff like that. But I remember going to the studio with him when he was recording an album, and I remember going to that. I remember going to like showcases and talent shows and everything like that, and just experiencing life in different places that kind of shaped me to who I was. I moved from Toronto to Brampton early on, and I had to like start life over again and experience that, and then moving to another city, Mississauga, when I was a teenager and experiencing that. So it's just a whole bunch of different stuff. Yeah.
There's lots of memories there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay. So now we're in the future. We're in the present.
Yeah.
Now that we've gotten a better understanding of where you come from, what does a typical day look like for you creatively now? What's your process like?
Well, usually I will wake up, myself something to eat, sit down at the computer and either I start making a beat or I'll make the beat and I'll start writing to it, or I'll have an idea that came to my head like the night before and then go to the computer and try to put everything together. So it consists of that and running my social media. Just checking, because with independent artistry and stuff like that, you basically have to be your own PR person, your own manager, your own graphic designer, your own social media manager. So I do that. I check my music page and check my sample page, all these different things, make sure everything is running well. I'm saying if I'm doing production for myself or other people, I do that too. And it's mostly what my day consists of. Rehearsals for shows, actual shows, things like that.
So it's jam-packed with music activity.
Yeah,
it doesn't
lots
stop.
of music stuff, as I've devoted my life to music right now at this present time.
That's amazing. So with your life being devoted to music, what's the craziest scenario that your music has brought you to? What's a wild story that people might not know that you think would surprise people? The power of music.
So about 4 or 5 years ago, have you ever heard of music NFTs?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was heavy into that when like in its infancy, and I had my first foray being an NFT music producer when I met Alan Kingdom. He has a song Kanye West called All Day, right?
Okay.
Look up yourself, Alan. And I met him through on Twitter and everything, and I heard my beats and everything like that. And the song that she chose one of my beats, and a song that ended up being music NFT sold as a one-of-one for $12,000 US. And that was the first time I ever, sold a beat that was worth that much money in that amount of time. And I was like, what the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this shit is really possible. You can make money off of music like that. Granted, that was only the biggest thing that's ever happened to me where that's concerned. Just the fact that happened showed me that anything is possible where music is concerned.
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't know anybody that can say that they sold a beat for that much. That's something to be proud of for sure.
Thank you.
Now, saying that you make beats, like, what is one aspect of being a producer and a songwriter that people might not be aware of? What's like the biggest challenge there?
Sometimes it can be hard to juggle. Sometimes as a producer, you have to, if you're working with another artist, you have to be willing to collaborate and compromise with the other person to make sure that everything goes smoothly. Same with songwriting, because I know I can write songs, but are you willing to put your pride and ego aside to sing somebody else's song if they ask you to, right? And, I had to learn how to do that, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have a problem singing other people's songs. I just sang it's a song, well, I don't know, did I?
Yeah.
Not tonight, not today, but I have songs in my catalog that have been written by other people. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they need you to convey whatever message through them, right? So it's the same thing with me writing songs for other people too. It's kind of the thing where the other person has to, you know, let go of that ego and pride to make the thing work, but also I allow them to make the song their own. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of
Back
give
and forth.
take, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome. Speaking of your songs, which like I wouldn't be able to answer this question, so if you can't, that's okay. But what is your favorite song that you've ever made?
Oh my goodness, that's a hard question because there's so many of them too that I love. But, I think it would be Man Eater just because just the evolution of that song and what it's become an actual movie, you know what I'm saying, which is mind-blowing to me, you know. I'm not gonna lie and say that I was not inspired by the Hall & Oates song, because I was, but I think that the whole concept of a man-eater and what it might represent for other people, I think is like a timeless trope anyway. In my case, the song, it represents me and people's misconceptions they have about me upon seeing me, you know what I'm saying? They might be intimidated by me, but just gotta get to know me kind of thing, you know? So, like I said, the fact that it's been turned into a movie and all that stuff is really cool. So,
Yeah.
right now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had one opportunity to speak to all the youth, all the kids in the world, and you had one message that you had to convey to them, what would that be?
I'd say, yes, go after your dreams because you want to do it, not because your parents are forcing you to do something, you know what I'm saying? Doing things because your parents are telling you to will never make your life happy, you know what I'm saying? Or stopping your dreams because you don't approve and all these things, because what will happen is that you'll put your dreams on the back burner and then it will become to a point where you don't even want to chase them anymore, and then you'll be wishing that you did, right? So in my case, my dad didn't like the fact that I was like an artist, because I quit my job and basically did music full time, because I spent 12 years in healthcare, and my dad was not happy that I quit my job, right? So I told him before he passed me, he asked, you know what I'm saying, that I gotta do this for me, because this is what I want to do, you know what I'm saying? I know that you tried to do it and you weren't really successful at it, but I want to try, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna put my heart and my soul into it. So make sure you do what you want to do for you. Don't do stuff, and do not do stuff because people tell you or tell you not to do things. That's what I tell you. So.
Wow. Well, it's been an honor and a privilege. Ladies and gentlemen, the Back to Basics crowd, this has been Black Orchid.
Thank you, Pravi, for the interview. I appreciate it. Thank you.